What's up, guys? What up? Hold on, let me get you guys up. See where you guys are all at. Hiding out. Both y'all hiding out. I'll find you, though. I will. I will find you guys. Hold on. Done did. Done did. No comments yet. That means nobody's here. That means nobody's here talking to me. Nobody's here watching me. It's quiet. It's all quiet on the Western Front. There's somebody. I don't know who it is. Somebody. Hold on here. Get my hat on tonight. I said I don't wear my hat. I went to Matt's. I was over at Matt's this week. We went Saturday. We couldn't stay long because we had these storms come through Friday night, and they were bad. I mean, they tore up all kind of shit, and tore up the neighbor's house. And hold on, let me get the comments happening here. Tore up one of the neighbor's houses. Real, isn't it weird how that shit happens? You just like a storm will come through, and it'll just tear the hell out of everything, and leave your house alone, or tear your house up and leave somebody else's house alone. It's just weird as shit to me how that happens. But anyway, it tore up my neighbor's house real bad, and I feel bad for him. He's kind of a weird guy. He's one of these guys that starts mowing his lawn real early in the season, and then all the rest of us get in trouble, because our wives come around and be like, Bob's mowing his lawn. How come you haven't mowed our lawn yet? Bob mowed his. And you go, well, there's snow. There's still like 8 inches of snow in the back. I mean, Bob is an asshole. I can't help, what Bob does. But while we're here, while we're just getting started, hold on, let me find out if we got some people. Gerald's over there. Gerald is still talking. Here we go. Let's log on to this thing. See if we're Jihan over there. Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, we're all up all over the place. We're all up and jamming. Katie, what up, baby? My monk, my baby. Anyway, the video's acting really weird on Facebook. It always does. I'm getting where I don't even like Facebook much anymore because the YouTube channel just works so well. I don't know why, but it does. Anyway, I'm gonna get back over here on this other stream so I can see you guys real good. So we went to Matt's, we wandered around up there, but I had some stuff going on. We had those storms the night before, and everybody at home was all nervous and worried about all that. So we stayed. We were going to go up there Friday and Saturday and help Tony Justice and Trucker G and Brown Ox, work at the Bull Snot Trucker G Tony Justice booth, but with those storms and everything, we just didn't do it. We had some other stuff going on at home. So we went up there Saturday and walked around for a couple hours and went to see everybody that we had time to see. And I missed some people, and I'm sorry. I am sorry. But here's something funny. I walked around up there. Me and Frank 3 walked around up there, and I had my hair back in a ponytail and I had on a baseball hat, and nobody knew me. It was really funny. Nobody knew who I was, and I mean, I had people like last year. I was just walking around in a t-shirt and I had a baseball hat, but I had my hair all down and everything, and I had people all day long coming up to me and how you doing, give me big hugs and stuff, and seeing everybody. It was a lot of fun, but this year I had my hair. I didn't even think about it. I mean, I got up in the morning, took my shower, and I went up there and just put a ball cap on, and a sweatshirt, and went up there and walked around, and people were coming up and going, I go up and I go, hey, I goosed one girl. She got real mad and turned around. It took her a minute to figure out who I was. Anyway, it's funny, if I ever decided to really aggravate the shit out of people and get a haircut, I don't think anybody would know who I was. But we walked around up there and we saw everybody that had a chance to see and missed a lot of people. And I hate that. But the plain truth of it, I only live about 2 hours from Louisville, so every year I go up there and I go, yeah, you know what, I'm just not going to go back because there's other shows like Tony's show is coming up. I got to get the dates. Somebody put the dates in there so I'll know what they are. His show is coming up, and that's going to be fun. That's going to be a really fun, cool show to go to. Guitars and large cars over in the hills. And I think Trucker G and I are going to ride our motorcycles over there and have some fun. But every year I go to Matt's, it's so big, so damn big, and there's so many people. And I say, every year I say, you know what? I'm just not going to go. It's just too much trouble. It's just too hard, and all that stuff. And then every year I'll have 4 or 5 people call me up. Come on up there, man. Come on up there and, let's hang out and do this and that. So I do. I wind up going up there for at least a few hours. And that's what we did. We went up there Saturday and stayed most of the day. And then everybody starts packing up, Saturday afternoon. So when they started that, we left. We tried to get ahead of the traffic and got out of there. But we had a good time. We got to see, quite a few people. And I got to thinking this week, that you see stuff I'm here on social media talking to you, which is kind of weird because I get on social media and most of the advice that I see on social media from people is bad. It's just bad. Now, I'll start out. I say this all the time. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to put it out there again. My opinions are just my opinions. They're nobody else's. They're just mine. And I've been doing this all my life. My dad did it all his life. And you can take it for what it's worth. I mean, and that's fine with me. That is just fine with me. And so I got to thinking, like right now there's 16 people sitting here watching me. And I got to thinking, why am I doing this? I'm just another guy, on Facebook, sitting here telling people stuff and, about trucking and this and that, business in general, that kind of thing, because we've done well, we've done okay over the years. And I think, I see all this bad advice out there with these people. And I'm thinking, there's got to be somebody on here, there's got to be people on here that don't do that call people out, when they're out there giving this bad advice. I'm not going to do it. Hello? Who said hello? We'll find out who you are. Michelle, what's up, darl? Man, I was so glad to meet you the other day. I've been wanting to meet you for a long time. And we got to meet some more again. We got to do some more better. Anyway, there's so many people out there giving bad advice. And I thought, there's got to be somebody somewhere to kind of try to offset. And when I say bad advice, I mean stuff that's just really obvious. I mean, really obvious. Like this guy gets on there. You see this question all the time. I was thrilled myself. You're cool. You see this question all the time. What's up, John? You see this question all the time on Facebook. All the time. I haul this freight for a broker and that son of a bitch ain't paying me. What do I do? Well, of course, you can go through the whole thing of filing on his bond, if he has one, if you check that before you took the load. If he has one, I've never seen anybody, and again, I could be wrong, I've never seen anybody get anything out of a bond. Mara, fuck, I'm driving. Have a good show. You better hang around, girl. Better hang around. Put it up there and just break all the rules. Charity, what's up? Charity, did you try to call me? Did you call me yesterday? Because I got a number. I didn't know where it was from, and I was driving real hard and fast in the car. Michelle, love the hat. Thank you. That's my cowboy hat. Actually, I usually have this on the front of this hat. You know, it's a John Prine thing. Oh Boy Records was John Prine's record company, and his fun thing to say was Nashville. It's pretty good. And somebody say, John, I got your new record, man. That one song on there was it just moved me, man. It really got to my heart and my soul. And John would go, yeah, you know, it's pretty good. That was John's big thing. And he was a neighbor of mine for a long, long time, lived up the street. And just a good guy, cool guy. But anyway, I once in a while I wear the hat with his name on it around town just to aggravate people. But I got to thinking the other day, there's so much bad advice. Here's one I hear all the time. I haul freight for this broker and this son bitch won't pay me. Well, I do. Well, you can file on his bond, but I've never seen anybody collect anything off a bond. It's all it is. A bond is bullshit. It's insurance, is what it is, and they do everything they can think of not to pay you, just like everybody else. They don't want to pay you. They don't make any. They don't get to keep all the money from the guy that bought the bond if they pay you, so they don't want to. So what do you do next? Well, let me tell you what I figured out. And this is about 12, 15 years ago. I started looking at the laws. I started looking at the regulations. Well, it turns out that no matter what, no matter if they use a broker or 10 brokers, or if people get involved and double broker or triple broker, at the end of the day, the shipper is responsible for the freight payment to whomever hauls the freight. Look it up. Don't take my word for anything, guys. Look it up. They are responsible. So when this happened to me years ago, you know, I told Frank Jr., I said, you know what, this asshole, I said, just send a bill to the shipper. He said, can we do that? And I said, according to the law, we can. So we did it. We sent a bill to the shipper, and 3 days, which is about how long it takes to get there, you know, in the mail. 3 days, we get a phone call from the shipper. Why are you sending me this bill? I said, well, because your broker that gave us that load of freight from you hasn't paid us, and evidently they have no intention of paying us. They won't answer the phone. They won't respond to email. They just ghost you. You know, it went dark, and we hauled your load, and now we want to get paid. They said, well, we'll call the broker. I said, I don't give a shit who you call. Pay me. They had already paid the broker, and they were mad. And they said, well, you know, try to work. I said, pay me. So they did. They had already paid the broker. Then they had to turn around and pay me too. And that made them really, really mad. So I said, instead of dealing with these fly-by-night brokers that don't pay their bills, you know, that you choose to represent you for some reason, why don't you just let me haul your freight? Because at that point, by not paying their freight bill, that broker had already breached our contract, part of which was no solicitation, no back solicitation. Fuck them. They'd already breached the contract. So I went straight at the customer, and I got myself a new, very large customer out of the deal. They kicked the broker out because I wasn't the only one, but I was the only one that sent them a bill. So when I tell people on these Facebook pages, they'll go, "Yeah, I hauled this load for this broker, and some bitch ain't paying me. You know, what do I do?" Without even Solomon, what's up, brother? Without even taking a breath, I just type in there, bill the shipper, and then I don't say anything else. I don't tell them my story like I just did you. You know, I don't talk about, you know, what I've done for the last 20 years. I just say, bill the shipper. Try that now and you might end up with a freight guard, though. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care. I got a lawyer, just same as they do. I'll sue the shit out of them. Nothing would make me happier than to sue the shit out of these fly-by-night assholes. I don't care. I just don't care. That's part of my show tonight. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I don't care, Jonathan. I don't give a shit. All these companies, you know, now you got all this other bullshit out there. And one of the companies I've been doing business with for a long, long time. Oh, this is my Road Mangler Deluxe shirt, by the way. That's Phil. That's my man Phil Kaufman right there, much younger. Phil's turning 88 years old tomorrow. He's the guy you might remember, some of you older guys might remember, that Many years ago, there was a singer songwriter, and he was getting real popular. His name was Graham Parsons, and he died. And he had made a deal with his road manager that if either one of them wound up dead, the other one would go collect the body and take it out in the desert and cremate the body and spread the ashes in the desert. Lo and behold, 6 months later, Graham Parsons died, and Phil, this guy right here, Phil Kaufman, stole the station wagon, went to the airport where where Graham Parsons' body was being about to be shipped back to his family's place in Florida. Stole the body, took it out to the desert, poured 5 gallons of gas on it, set it on fire. He got caught. The only thing they charged him, because the lady that owned the station wagon, when she heard the story, she thought it was great. She thought it was wonderful, so she didn't press any charges, told the cops she loaned him the station wagon. So the only thing Phil got charged with was tampering with a corpse, and it was like a 30-day suspended sentence. Phil didn't even do 2 minutes in jail. Nothing. But they've made movies about it. They've made all kind of written songs about it. This thing that Phil did, 50 years ago, and it's been a big deal. Anyway, he's my buddy. He got to where he couldn't ride motorcycles a couple years ago, so I bought his last motorcycle, and it's pretty cool. It's got a real fancy paint job and stuff. He's a local dude, lives here in Nashville. Emmylou Harris makes Phil a lemon meringue pie the first Tuesday of every month. Takes it over to his house. He was her road manager for years and years and years. And the Rolling Stones and a whole bunch of other people. Anyway, that's what the shirt. Phil gave me the shirt. Anyway, where was I? Bad advice. So I bill the customer. And I've only had to do it, a couple of times. But here's what it's legal. It's perfectly legal. Here's what you find out. The first thing the customer does is they call that broker and they go, "Hey, asshole, how come you're not paying the freight bills? I'm giving you this freight, you're putting out there. I'm paying you, but you're not paying the carriers. So now we got to pay them. So what's the deal?" So they start trying to recover, their money from these asshole brokers that they're using, these fly-by-night brokers. They're not gonna. It's like getting, blood out of a turnip. You're not going to get it. So they start trying to do that. But what happens is they fire the broker instantly. I mean, immediately. Who wouldn't? And that gives you an opening to call them on the phone and go, "Why don't you quit using these assholes and use me? I'll actually move your freight for you. I already have." So when you give advice on Facebook or social media, every time I put that, bill the broker, there's 8 guys. "Now, Frank, it doesn't work that way." The only reason it doesn't work that way is because somebody on Facebook told you it didn't. It does fucking work that way. It does. What am I doing here? If you don't get out of the box, if you're afraid to step out of the box, if you're afraid to take some initiative, how are you even a truck driver? How do you get from point A to point B? If you're afraid to make a decision and act on it, how do you get there? The first time my dad sent me up to New York City, I was the new guy. I was the new kid, and my dad had 8 trucks at the time. And just because I was the new kid and his son, he wanted to make damn sure that he didn't play favorites with me. And believe me, he did not. And just to show his other drivers that I was just another guy, I didn't get favorites and all that. I ran up and down the East Coast. We were based in Florida at the time and hauled produce. I ran up and down the East Coast for years, to the point that I got to know it up there like the back of my hand. But the first time I went into New York City, I pulled up to the George Washington Bridge in that little area, the parking area there. And I heard all the horror stories, and I heard all how dangerous it is, and they'll hijack your truck, and they'll do this, and they'll do that. And I was sitting there looking up at that bridge, just dreading the shit out of it, And then here come 2 North American van lines. Back in those days, that was the Swift back in those days. They were like the dumbasses of the highway back in those days. Here comes 2 North American van lines coming out of New York City. And I thought, well, shit, if those guys can do it, I know damn well I can do it. I put the truck in gear and went to New York, and it was not fun. It's still not. It's still not fun. But I went over there and delivered my shit. Came back across the bridge across that New Jersey, picked up a load, turned around, went home. So if you're afraid to make those decisions, if you're afraid to do those things, how do you ever get from point A to point B in a truck? I mean, how does that ever happen? How do you do that? What are you doing here? If you can't do those kind of things, why are you doing here? If you can't build a shipper, what's the worst thing that would happen if you build the shipper? The worst thing that could possibly happen. You're already not getting paid. You already haul the freight for nothing. What's the worst thing that's going to happen now? They're going to, like Jonathan say, oh, I'll put you in a freight guard? Fuck freight guard. Who cares? I don't give a shit. Do it. Do it. So I'm riding along on my motorcycle. I love my motorcycle. I got a couple of them. I like to ride them. I'm riding along and I get behind a truck and I'm out there on a 2-lane road, right in the middle of nowhere, And it's kind of a little curvy type of road out in the country. And this guy's not going very fast. And I'm thinking, shit, I would like to get around this guy. But I can't see very far because, like I said, it's kind of a weavy road, not a bad road or anything, but it's kind of weavy turning. You can't see, very far. So every once in a while, I ease out toward the other lane, and I look, to see anybody out there. And then it occurred to me, I don't have to do that. I don't have to risk my life. I don't have to do that just to get around this guy. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not on anybody's schedule. Nobody's waiting for me anywhere. I'm just out riding around, enjoying the day. I don't have to pass this guy and maybe get killed, by some little mama with a baseball hat and her phone out texting on her phone in her minivan. I don't have to get killed today. I don't have to do that. So I just backed off, let the truck do what he does. I just cruise around back there and, look at the sights and pretty soon, hey, Bella, what's up? And pretty soon the truck driver gets off, and I just go on about my day. But I didn't have to pull out there in that left lane, gas that motherfucker. My bike's pretty fast. Gas that motherfucker and then get all my damn, my blood pressure up to 700 and my butt all drawn up into a little tiny sphincter muscle, I didn't have to do all that. There was no need to do all that. So I didn't do it. So every day when I'm doing work, when I'm doing my business, and somebody will send me a letter or somebody will call me on the phone or somebody will do this or do that, the first thing that I think about is, do I have to do this? Because I'll tell you something. This is free advice. All my shit's free. Most of that stuff that keeps your stomach all in a knot, and keeps your blood pressure up and keeps you tense and all that stuff, most of that stuff, you don't have to do it. I know. You're sitting there going, I don't. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. And you might think about this from time to time. And I do. I do all the time. When I'm going to fall out there to pass that truck, I ask myself a question. What's the worst thing that can happen? Well, the worst thing that can happen is some asshole in a minivan come along and head on something and kill me. That's a bad thing. Is it safe? Is it legal? Is it necessary? Just between you and me, I put legal kind of out there. It's kind of out there. I'd be like, is it safe? Is it practical? Is it necessary? And then later on, I'll be like, okay, now, is this legal? Am I going to get in trouble for this? Anyway, it's just me. Do you be you? So, I got to thinking on here. All this stuff, all this bad information, all this bad advice. And there's some pretty good advice, too. There's another guy. He's got a real big following. I can't remember his name right off the bat. I don't even know if I know his name. But he gets on here and he does a thing, and I think he does it sometimes the same time I do, on Tuesday nights. And he's usually got some pretty good advice, but he'll get on there and go for like 3 hours, and I can't do that. And another thing, I met this guy that I've been seeing his stuff on YouTube for about a year, and he's a trucking company, and he's here in Tennessee, and he's got a real big following. And I saw him at Matt's. He was at Matt's, and I never met him, so I went over to shake his hand and meet him. And this guy was an asshole. He He really, honestly, and truly, he forgot about being a truck driver a long time ago. He's a movie star. He is an asshole. Frank stuck his hand out, my son, to shake his hand, and he just looked at him, this guy. So if I ever see him again, I'm going to fuck him up. Just because he's a dumb fucking country ass hick asshole. He really thinks he's a movie star. And he told me I was standing there. I said, well, if you ever need help in Nashville, give me a call. All right, then I got to get over here and talk to my fans. He's got fans. He thinks he's a movie star. He's got fans in the trucking business. He's all his fans. I got to go over here and talk to my fans. I said, you cornbread and collard green eating ignorant motherfucker. See if I ever help you again. Anyway, I got to thinking the other day, why do I do this? Why do I get on here and do this? I'm not selling anything. Oh, I do sell trucks. If anybody wants to buy a truck, I got some of them. I got fans with my $7 mile drive freight. Sure you do. Me too. I think, why do I do this every Tuesday night? Why don't I do it? I like doing it. I've made a lot of friends doing it. Honestly, I have. And I like the people that I met because evidently the people that are just bold enough to sit here and listen to me on Tuesday night are a bunch of pretty damn good people. So I've had a really good, experience. I really like it. And somebody's got to say something to these boneheads out here. And I've said all this I'm going to say. But one more time, this transparency thing is for children, all right? There's a guy and his wife, and they've been on it for years. That's their big, big, big thing. And she's had me kicked out of almost all the Facebook groups. You're just a sorry ass. I'm a sorry ass because you're a stupid fuck. I didn't see you if I didn't run into you at Matt's, or I would have gleefully told you that. But all these people crying about transparency, and it's real. Here's a question. Let's say they get it passed. Let's say they force the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration to do this. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that number? If you know what that number is, if you knew what that number was, what are you going to do with it? Where are you going with it? The bottom line is they don't want transparency. They want to try to limit brokers to 5%. Here's another news flash. They don't know what brokers do. They don't know. We have to go out and get customers. We have to take care of them. We have to keep them happy. We have a staff. We have people. We have systems, computers. We have programs. We have a building, a place to work. All that. We have overhead. We have a lot of overhead. And we go out and sell and get customers, which is something they're too stupid to do. I'll just say it, okay? It's not that, oh, we only got one truck. Tell Deb Dingo that and she'll laugh in your fucking face. Tell her that. She'll laugh in your face. I love that woman to death. Anyway, what are you going to do with that number? You'd be like a dog chasing a truck. What are you going to do when you catch it? What are you going to do with it? I'll never do it. I'll go on record right now tonight. I will tell you. Just need a laptop and a cell phone to be a broker. That's it. 3% is enough. I'll never do it. I won't ever do it. I'll just tell you that. I don't use load boards now. I haven't for years and years. I don't use them. That's not how I do business. My customers have been the same customers for 24, 25 years. So I'll never do it. If anybody ever called me on the phone and said, oh, you're afraid, but I want to know how much you're getting back, I'll hang up the phone. Fuck you. It's none of your business. If you don't like brokers, don't use them. That's pretty simple, isn't it? Go get your own freight. Then you'll find out what brokers do all day for a living. Then you'll have a slightly different opinion. Or let's turn this around a little bit. Let's turn it around. Let's say that some of these crying ass shitbird stupid truck drivers get their way. And they do put that in there. I'm going to start raising hell and thumping and raising hell until guess what? Until they regulate them too. If I can only make 5%, why should you make more? You ever think of that? Did you ever consider, once these little assholes in Washington, and they are assholes. I don't care if you think you got a friend up there, you don't. I don't care which party you work for or believe in or who you like or who you don't like. I don't care. I'll get into that in a minute too. Those people up there are not your friend. They never have been. They're not going to be. Okay? Once they start regulating, they're going to regulate until they're goddamn blue in the face. So the question becomes, because this is what's going to happen. If Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, if they try to go through with this, it's going to have to get through the Congress. And then it's going to go through the court system, because I'm here to tell you, everybody and their brother's going to file a lawsuit. If they can do it to the trucking industry, they can do it to the produce industry. They can do it to the shoe industry. They can do it to the steel industry. If they can regulate how much profit you make, where does that all end? What's the end game there for anybody? So as far as I'm concerned, and you can disagree with me if you want to, if you're too fucking stupid to take that little note that brokers put on their contract where it says you don't want to know what they're getting paid, you forego that. If that really bothers you, don't sign it. Hang up the phone, call another broker. You're free to do all those things. You really are. You're free to do all that stuff. Just do that. But it's kind of like passing that truck on your motorcycle. You going to do it or not? No, you want that load. You're an entitled piece of shit, and you think that brokers ought to go out there and work for you for nothing. I know that there are brokers that are rate gouging. TQL is. I'll say it. If they want to shut me up or sue me, bring it. I'd love to own that place. That'd be fun for me. Bring it. I don't give a shit. I know there are brokers out there that take advantage of it. I know there are brokers out there that make it harder than it should be. I get it. These people don't know anything about trucking. I do. It's where I grew up. It's where I live. It's what I do now. I know that these people don't know anything about being decent. I know that. I get it. I've been around this thing all my whole life. But not everybody's like that. Not everybody's like that. And here's the two things you remember. I've never forced a carrier to haul a load for me, not once in 40 years, ever. One. Two, I don't dictate the rates. You do. But these people don't know that. So anyway, that's the end of my rant about, this transparency thing. You hear somebody thumping on the desk and yelling transparency, you know instantly that is one dumb son of a bitch that's either too lazy or too stupid to do his own work. He wants somebody to do it for him, and he wants it for nothing. There's a word for that. Gee, wonder what that would be. Wants everything for nothing. Fuck you. So anyway, a lot of people and some of my friends, you've made very valid points. Well, thank you very much. A lot of people and some of my friends have invited me, and I got kind of cornered up at Matt's the other day with some guys. They wanted me to be on their political shows. Frank, you're a good talker now, damn it. We want you to get on here. We want you on our side. I'm not on your side. I don't want to be on your show. I mean, I'll be on there if you want me to, but you probably won't like what I have to say. Here's the reason why. It's real simple. I'm going to cover this tonight, too, while I'm pissed off. I am not. I'm an American. I'm a free American. I'm an independent. I vote independent. I'll vote for this guy. I'll vote for that guy, this woman, this woman. I vote for whoever thinks will do the most for my family and my business. That's who I vote for. That's who I vote for. I try to find an honest person, which in politics is pretty fucking hard to do. Okay? I try to do that. But as far as the political shit goes, let's think about this. The President of the United States of America, and I don't care who it is, because for the last 4 ones like in a row, it's been this way. He runs about anywhere from 38 to 40%, approval. I don't care who it is. I don't care. Biden, Trump, Obama, whoever. They, 38, 40%. Now, to me, being a free American, to me, that's kind of disgusting, isn't it? That only 40% or less of the people in America think the President of the United States is doing a good job. That's terrible. The last time it was any higher than that was right after 9/11, when we all came together. So anyway, the President of the United States has a 35, 40% approval rating. Pretty much average, pretty much normal, which is pathetic. But Congress, that's the Senate and the House of Representatives, their approval rating is 13%. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? That tells you that people in America are pissed off. And what these stupid motherfuckers that have these radio shows and podcasts and, they get out there and thump and thump and thump and make them, because they're over here on this side or they're over here on this side. Meanwhile, 90% of us are sitting in the middle going, wait, motherfucker, what about us? What about the people in the middle? Bunch of self-serving motherfuckers up in Congress. Exactly. 75% of their time is fundraising. Not working for you. Fundraising. So all these people get mad. If you're not over here or you're not over here, they get mad. Some people have left the show right now. Good. Fuck you. Go. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit. 90% of America is dead in the middle. And what these people on the far right and the far left need to figure out is if they want to move forward, they need to talk to that 90% in the middle. They need their support because they're not going to do it with the 10 or 15 or 20% they got. All they are is a bunch of noisemakers and never getting anywhere. So no, I don't want to join in on that. I just in the last minute and a half said everything I have to say about politics. I remember a time, I'm old enough, I remember a time when politics and religion were considered personal. You didn't talk about them. It was considered in poor taste. You were considered coarse and vulgar and rude if you brought up politics or religion in a group of people, especially people you didn't know. I remember that. I still believe that. I don't think it's anybody's business who I vote for. I don't think it's any of my business who you vote for or why. I don't need you to get on the internet just like giving me bad trucking advice. I don't need you to get on the internet and tell me why, because I don't care. I'll bet you $1 million that there's not 10 people on this whole planet that give a shit what I think about politics. I mean, really. I'll bet you that they're not. And when I say that, we need to get everybody together. We need to get these people in the middle because Washington's not helping us. I say that at the end of my every show. Every show I say that. If you're waiting on the government to be the cavalry coming over the hill to save your ass, they're not coming. It's us. It's just us. It's the people in this group and a few groups like it. That's who's coming. We have to help each other. If we don't, then there's not going to be any help. It's not going to be any help. Because they're not there to help you. They're there to fundraise, make money, get paid by the big lobbying groups. That's what they're there for. We lost any semblance of what should be a democracy a real long time ago. And it wasn't Biden, and it wasn't Trump, and it wasn't Obama, and it wasn't whoever, George Bush. It wasn't any of those guys. It's been going on for a long time. Long, 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 long time. So that's it for me in politics. So now if you still want me to be on your show, give me a call because I'm going to say what I just said. All these people with these cool little catchphrases that piss you off, that trigger you. You're triggered. Well, goddamn it, you're triggered. Aren't you? You're just triggered. Fuck you. It would take way more than anything you assholes could come up with to trigger me. Shaggy Koch, what up? Oh, shit, man. I forgot to send you a link. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. I meant to send Shaggy a thing and I forgot. They are a business. You're damn right they are. Hold on, Shaggy. I got to jump over here to Facebook. Shaggly. Okay, there's your link. Send it to Anthony Shaggy Cooch. Whatever the fuck your name is. So anyway, that's enough of my politics stuff. Nobody gives a shit what I think about politics. Hell, I don't even. I vote for the people, and I'm an independent, and somebody got on my ass on one of my Facebook pages the other day. Well, that's just bullshit. You need to pick a side. What you don't understand is I live in Tennessee. And in Tennessee, we have closed primaries in Tennessee. So if you're not a declared Democrat, if you're a Democrat, you're a declared Democrat. If you're a Republican, you're a declared Republican. You can only vote in the primaries here for those candidates. If you're a Democrat, you can only vote for Democrats. If you're a Republican, you can only vote for Republicans. If you're an independent, you have access to the ballot. You can vote for, whoever you want to. A lot of the local races, which I believe that, the most important thing about politics is local. I believe all politics is local. So in the local races, like around here, mayor, school board, around here in Tennessee, we have business people that are like county managers, people like that, and a lot of those people are. There's Shagley. Hold on. A lot of those people. Hey, Shagley, they're independents or they're in a so that's why I'm an independent, so I can vote for people I like, people that are my friends. Look here. Who is it? I made everybody mad. It's too bad you logged on when you did because I started talking politics and everybody left. Everybody got
Everybody left?
Yeah, there's 7 people left.
What?
I had 623 people a minute ago, and I started talking politics, and they all left.
Yeah, fuck politics.
That's what I say. So
It's nice
anyway,
out. Who'd imagine it's 82 degrees and right now?
yeah, it'll be 12 tomorrow night and come in with a blizzard.
That's politics, isn't it?
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight because I've been on a tear. I've been talking about bad information on the internet. I don't know, talk about stupid people that want this transparency bullshit. You know, I've been talking a lot. But one of the other things that I wanted,
Transparency.
yeah, one of the other things that I wanted to talk about tonight, and while I got you on here, is I want to talk about these people that show up on Facebook. And a year ago, or a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago, they took 1 or 2 of Shaggy's courses. Now all of a sudden, they think they are Shaggy. I get a kick out of that. These people
Oh,
wouldn't know. These people want 14 inches of snow last 18 hours. I don't know where you're at, but damn, you need to come to my house. I'm tired of this shit. These people a year ago were hairdressers or they worked at McDonald's or something like that. Now all of a sudden they got these really nice ads. They pay money and they put these really nice ads on the internet and they boost it. Go with Bob's Transportation Expertise. We've got all this. And I look and I go, shit, that guy was in Shaggy's class about a year ago and he slept through the whole fucking thing. He didn't even turn his damn light on half the time.
half half the ladies from 2017, you and Frank came down and seen me in the free classes where we trained 550 freaking people at Matt Clodfelter for a week straight.
Yeah.
Every week, nonstop, packed. Remember that was when the big Texas guy came down before he lost everything and people hated me for it? I
Yeah.
had nothing to do with that fucker. You know what I mean? I didn't do anything. I invited him down to help him. It wasn't my idea to go open an office that was overpriced and have your son dispatch trucks and call me crazy because I made residuals off stuff. The big Texas trucker. And then remember,
Oh, yeah.
showed up too.
Yeah, and there was some guy
Yeah,
down in Fort Myers,
the
and
one
he
in
he
Georgia.
took he took your class,
Who?
and some guy in Fort Myers, I can't remember his name,
Yeah, there's a bunch.
but now he's doing it. He's
Yeah, we got.
attend my classes. They're only $79.95, and then you know,
I seen another one for Houston. The one that came up to my school and she got the DUI because the one guy was partying at night. He went and got the bottle of alcohol and I was like, I usually go home, so everybody they sat around and drinking a little bit, and she made it to the hotel room, and now she's running a dispatch training out of Houston. I just seen another one a few minutes ago. She's like, I'm getting lots of calls, and I think I'm gonna open up another dispatch training. I'm like, where the fuck are you gonna get the clients from? Like, we're doing new authorities, and they're getting dispatch services from India, European, and wherever other countries. Like literally, like we file a new authority with our compliance company, Frank. And I never knew it was for real, right? And I am not lying. We had John Burwell on there. The dude's getting like, he'll get 7 broker calls, 30 marketing calls, 7 broker calls, 35 marketing calls. It's like,
everybody wants to be. So the title for tonight's show is "Why am I doing this? What am I doing?" And I'm trying to tie it into some other stuff, like why do you do the shit you do all day, every day? Running your business. Why do you do that?
I don't
I
know,
mean,
man.
and the big thing is,
Should just use load boards and
yeah,
just
you just
brokers.
you don't have to do that. You don't have to run it that way. You don't have to do that. So That was my subject tonight. His phone must have lit up like a Christmas tree when he got his active authority. You know, these guys wanting to be you, these people that wanting to be you. There was a woman that came here to Nashville.
Yep.
She had ads everywhere. I mean, I saw them like every 15 minutes on Facebook, saw them on YouTube. She must have spent a couple $1,000,
They could
you know,
be me
just
if
putting
real.
putting her ad up there with her picture, and it's very professional. And she was going to teach you. You ready for this? Trucking, dispatching, brokerage, and government freight.
Don't forget building credit and to be a real estate agent.
That's right. That's right. That's right. She was going to do all this for you in 4 hours, and the price was only $1,000.
Is that your best friend from Memphis, or was she from Houston?
She was from Atlanta.
Atlanta. What about the one from Memphis? She
I
did it.
don't even know that one. Anyway,
Oh,
she was going to do this in Nashville, Tennessee, a conference room. Sign up now. You know, get it while there's still a few seats available. You know, 4 hours. She's going to teach you all those things. Well, as you and I know, you can spend a full week, 4 or 5 hours a night on a webinar talking about any one of those subjects and never get to the end of it ever.
never even.
She was
Like,
going to teach you all that in 4
midnight.
hours.
They'll keep
Well,
going.
the price was $1,000, $996. And then after a couple weeks, the price went down to $700, then $500, then $400. And the week before she came,
Oh, yeah, I remember that lady. She had the
yeah,
99 special.
yeah,
You got to get it now.
the week before she came, it got to $100 a head, and then she just canceled it. But she was going to teach you
I
all that
remember.
stuff. How
I
many
was
people?
talking to Twana Cole today. She came to my free classes. She's signing up to do some training, and she's like, "You remember that Deidre Green lady?" I was like, "You mean the one me and Frank and all those guys knew when me and Frank started our videos? That was from Savannah." Yeah,
Yeah,
she's charging like $5,000 to do websites marketing. She gets you a brokerage gun. I'm like, she ain't even had a brokerage.
she doesn't
She's
know
a
how to
marketing
broker.
lady. She's never had a brokerage at all.
She
She's
doesn't know
never
how to
even
do
ran
this.
one.
Hey, you
Huh?
got to pull your phone away from you. All we can see is your head, top of your head.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's
Is that
better.
better?
That's a lot better now.
I'm
Yeah.
sitting outside drinking.
We can actually hear you now too.
Hmm.
Anyway, you know
Why didn't we?
these people on Facebook and these people that want to be you. They just want to be you, and it's
They
just
can beat me though.
oh
They can do all the free stuff I do and all the calls I make and help everybody and listen to all their depression problems because they didn't do stuff right. They can do everything. Shit, I had hair 5 years ago when you met me like you did. You didn't have hair.
I know,
It's a weird situation.
I know. I'm just a lot calmer than I used to be. Folks who really dispatch don't want to dispatch. That's a comment.
I can see none of them.
You know, I think that's right. I
They're
think
calling me all day long right now saying, "Well, I don't know what happened on my dispatching service. They taught me how to do it. I can't get no clients. I love the favorite word when they call me. I ain't got no coin left in the bank." I'm like, "What the fuck is coins doing in a bank?"
yeah. Hold on a minute here. Dan Walters said nice hat. So my
This is
brother.
a nice hat. You look like that Crocodile Dundee dude.
What?
It's like a Crocodile Dundee hat.
This is like babysitting grown ass adults. Yeah, anything like that. This is
Who's
this is,
babysitting grown ass adults?
this is my John Prine hat.
Oh, I love
Rover.
that.
Yeah. Usually I've got it sitting back here on my
Oh, I've seen that. I didn't know that was back there. I think it was back there, but I've never seen it wear.
I just put it on tonight for the hell of it. Something different, because I was telling everybody before you got on here, I went to Matt's the other day, and I didn't think about it when we left the house. I just put my hair up in a ponytail and put on a baseball hat, and I was walking around, and nobody knew who I was. They didn't know me. I walk up to one woman and goosed her in the butt. She tried to take my damn eyes out. Whoa, it's me. Oh, okay, it's you. Don't ever goose me again. She still didn't appreciate that, but I don't know.
It happens.
Happens. But anyway, you get all this bad advice on Facebook and all these stupid people, and they are really sure. They are really
It always
sure.
happens when the world's coming to the end and the sky is falling.
They are really 100% sure that they're right. They'll get mad. Well, you can't do that. And they'll go, yes, you can, you son of a bitch. Here we go.
Frank, what you should do is go start an organization and tell people you hate somebody and feed the organization, grow it to 30,000 members, and then go open a brokerage and tell all the members to pay for it. And then open a brokerage and then tell people that you're going to get a bunch of freight because everybody's calling you and the customers are just going to bow down because you have 30,000 people in your group.
I mean, I asked, a woman came up to me one night up in Washington, and she had this little notebook. And she said, she walked up to me at a little party, a little get together, and she said, "Hi, how are you?" She said, "I need a list of all the people you deal with here in Washington and their phone number." I said, "What?" "I need a list of the people that you deal with, your contacts here in Washington, and their phone number." And I said, "Who are you? What are you doing?" "I just need that list." I said, "Does that ever actually work? I mean, that you walk up to somebody and just demand some shit and they just give it to you? Or have you lost your mind?" But that's how people think. Okay, we'll do this. I just can't. I just can't with that. I just don't have. Michelle said, "I knew." You knew because I grabbed you up out of the chair.
I can't believe my phone's going to die.
Well, that figures.
What did you
I don't have much. Huh?
What did you start?
I just been bitching all night about it. I didn't do anything. I thought I had a good show last week because I went over 6 things you can do to actually improve your business that you can do today, that you can, actually put in motion today. Knowing that you can't do it all. I get it. I understand that, but you can start on it and it doesn't cost you anything and it's easy stuff to do. So I thought I had a pretty good show. So I thought I'd just get on there this week and raise hell and just get shit off my chest and all that. And I've been doing that. I've been real good at that.
I forgot to say you'd have to actually be proactive and do work.
Huh?
It's free, but you'd have to be proactive and do work.
Yeah.
Did you forget that part?
No, I left that part out.
Well, yeah, you would.
But, Shaggy and I, and you guys that are on here, all 10 of you, actually, there's a lot more than that. But anyway, you guys should know that Shaggy and I talk on the phone, and he'll call me up. He'll be really frustrated, really mad,
all the time,
upset, frustrated at the end of his work. He'll go, I'm doing this stuff. I'm doing it 20 hours a day. And I just don't think these people are listening. I don't think they're paying attention. And I'll go, all you can do is put it out there, Shaggy. You can't make people listen. You can't do it.
No, you try. I did that video the other day, and I talked about a word called posting with directions, so customers can find you with specific ones. Searching with direction, building a network of the 10% of brokers that pay attention, and and you tell people, wow, you could book loads for like 30 days out, and then fill in the blanks, and they're like, huh.
That's like telling a guy, and 30 people wanted to get mad and fight. I said, that broker don't pay you, bill the shipper. You can't do that. Oh, you can't do that.
We had a guy the other day. His name's John Burwell in the group, Frank. Oh, and he launches you, and we were doing networking, right? So he hasn't even pulled his first load, and he's filling out like 7 to 10 broker packets a day. I was doing it remember I was talking in the video this morning where he figured out he can run 1,500 miles, pay himself $2,500, put 1,000 away, pay his truck and trailer payment, pay his insurance, and put away 1,100 to 1,200 fuel and stay in a 300-mile radius and do a 200-mile load and a 100-mile load a day if he finds all kinds of open pickup and delivery. And a couple of brokers called him and they told him about their customer. They told him about the place 20 miles from his house, the shingle place in North Carolina. They told him everything. And then they said, well, we won't use you in 90 days. And I was like, what was the name of that customer again? So we Googled the customer and we called him direct. And they gave us the email address and they said, we're working at home right now because we haven't came back from some COVID, but here's the person you need to email. And they love carriers, basically like that. And I was like, no, you should wait 90 days. Sorry, and work for the broker. Don't do that.
Don't do
it.
Stupid.
I didn't say nothing about back soliciting, did I?
E-carrier check. If these guys would get into that, and you know me, I don't. Nobody's paying me, I don't talk about people's shit unless I
don't get paid by them either.
Let me tell you, that shit takes weeks and weeks off of your search process. I mean, it just takes it down from 2 months to 20 minutes.
You want to hear something funny?
I don't know who wouldn't do that. So I believe in
You want
them,
to hear something funny?
and I believe in the Trucker G Spies. I believe in that. Believe in that.
Hey, you want to hear something funny?
And I believe in Bull Snot. That's it.
Hey, you want to hear something funny?
Yeah, I love funny stuff.
So e-carrier check sent my brokerage and my team the beta version of their new e-carrier check because you notice they deal with it. We watch his videos, so he deals with a lot of new dispatching people, new carriers and stuff.
Yeah.
And their analysis showed that carriers are so fucking lazy on networking in the simplest stuff. So he had to revamp the beta and change e-carrier check around and make it so much easier to use. Then now it shows pictures of dry vans instead of the word dry van. He had to put it in pictures so us dumb fuckers could point on pictures to get something done.
Jesus.
Yeah, you have to go in there and point pictures now because people don't know how to find dry vans or refrigerated or power only or in dump.
Beta, I don't
Stuff.
get
So
that. Well, we'll talk about that later. I don't know why they would change it over to beta. That's obsolete.
No, like the new beta version. It's the new version that comes out where you try it out before it's launched.
A picture menu.
So
Okay.
instead of being like I've showed you before, where it has all the wording on the side, people
Yeah.
can't read, right? Today in trucking. So you got to put pictures for them to point like kindergartners.
Yeah.
It's the most amazing crap. I'm like,
that'd probably work for me because that's how I operate. Pictures.
It actually works for me. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm like, wow, now I don't understand this damn thing,
Yeah.
you know? But it's just crazy how they have to change their technology to the lack of education because people are so lazy.
No way. Yes.
And make it easy. We got to make it easy, like DAT, where you just go to the low board and wait for people to call you, and then, well, never mind. You don't wait for people to call you. You just call them, and then you get pissed off because you don't build relationships with the people that are on the low boards, right?
Jonathan Tribble say Hooked on Phonics worked for me. So far, it hasn't, Jonathan. I want to tell you that.
What is Hooked on Phonics? I used that like 4 times.
Yeah. So far, it hasn't. I think you got like the Japanese version or whatever. How far down do we have to go? Who wants to know what down where?
I don't know because 50% of the people I talk to are going up and 50% are going down. The ones that are going up are growing.
You know, Michelle, and we were going to talk about this. Michelle brought this up at Bats the other day. She said, I don't even know if I belong on your show because I'm a company driver. Yes, you do. You absolutely do. You definitely do.
And owner-operators and carriers.
Yes, you do. And we'll talk about that next week. Matter of fact, if you're still sitting around on your ass, maybe you be my guest next week. We'll talk about that. I'll be glad to talk about that.
I'll send you some more people that you should get a mixture. You should get some company trucks, some owner operators, and a guy with his own authority. Just tell me, I'll line them up for you. We got a whole Rolodex.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, we need like a panel. You know what I mean? Where you got like 6 of them on there.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I can get.
I was telling Jared about it, but all I'm doing is feeding his side. I'm like, we need to do that crap.
Fuck yeah. Gerald, you know, I talked to those guys the other day. I'll be on my ass for 3 more weeks. Good, you can be on with me. Help me out. I can use all the help I can get. He said he hadn't seen Jared in like 2 or 3 weeks, so he's probably in jail. He's probably in prison.
They're just so busy. You know, everybody's in the boat of rebuilding their businesses because the gold rush over with.
Yeah.
Seriously, everybody, factoring companies,
half the people I know are screaming and going broke.
Companies.
Half the people I know are screaming and going broke, and the other people are buying brand new Peterbilts and
50-50, man.
It's out there. It's out there.
How many times have we been here?
I try, and I know you try every week to get that 50% that are crying and going broke over to the other 50% that are doing
the other side. Over to the other side.
Over to the other side. But you can only put it out there, and people are only going to listen to what they listen. But I will tell you,
but we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear the truth.
90% of what you hear on here, we are talking on Facebook and YouTube tonight. 90% of what you hear on social media is bullshit, and it's by people that don't know what they're doing.
I hear it every day, man. People that pay for other stuff, they paid for this. I just seen it tonight. This lady said, I'm getting so many requests for dispatch training. I'm like, you liar. You ain't getting no requests. Not a motherfucker in the world's jumping into this shit right now. Are you fucking crazy? There's only like 300 authorities a day, and they don't even answer text blast or nothing. Stop listening to that shit. It's stupid. You're lying.
Some guy got on my page a week or two ago, and he came off of that page where they're boycotting everybody. They're mad at everybody all
Yeah,
over.
that's the one I was talking to you earlier. They opened the brokerage, and then they got the trucking company by the guy that owns the group, and now they
Anyway,
want people to pay for the
this person,
website.
and
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
they're
know
only
if
going to charge a small fee, Frank.
I can't say if it was. I don't know if that was a man or a woman, so I won't
Yeah,
assign.
I can't believe I
A
got
gender.
kicked out of there.
I
Yeah,
don't know. But they came on my page and they go, "Well, I can't believe you're saying that about dispatch services. We're here to make people's lives better." Turned out this person also had a beauty salon, also sold real estate, and also sold cosmetics online. So the dispatch service was like fourth or fifth down the list of ways that they were going to make your lives better.
I got a question though.
What is it?
How is a group of 30,000 people that are bitching about brokers, right? They can't get customers
Because
that are all in the weirdest fucking comments. Like, if you ever been in there with any intelligent, all you listen to the fucking comments, going to get along enough to take something to haul freight for one broker at a small fee.
I got out of that group a couple weeks ago because it just occurred to me that if I stayed in there, sooner or later people would start showing up at my house wanting to fight, and I said, no, I'm gonna quit doing this.
I can't even type in there. I just
I
stay there.
can't. I can't. I mean, I probably got I probably got out of it like 2 minutes ahead of getting kicked out, but still,
Is
I can't.
that Greenfield guy still in your group so he goes back and tells we're talking smack?
Well, I kicked him out of my group because I figured he was doing that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love that guy, man. Yeah, I can't believe he tagged me. Like, he doesn't even know who I
You
am.
know,
Like, I
he was
support it
in
all.
your group and he was in my group. He went through that whole surgery thing last year.
Does he even drive?
I don't know. He did before that.
I don't get it, man. I like some of the stuff that goes through there. I'm like,
24/7. You have to be 100% committed. If you're dispatching, you should be committed anyway, not to what you think.
are you talking about dispatching services?
That was a comment somebody made.
What'd they say?
Charity made that. Dispatching is 24/7. You have to be 100% committed.
Are we talking about trucking company or dispatching service?
I don't know. Charity.
Why the fuck would you have a dispatching service where you work 24/7? What, like,
I don't
what
know.
is it like?
I don't know.
Is it special or something? Like brokers work past 5 or 6 o'clock? I mean, what are you doing? Waiting to book one load? So I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why you would do
God
that.
bless them.
Because the
God
latest
bless
thing on the
them.
Federal Motor Carrier Safety thing, besides this transparency bullshit for the entitled and weak of mind, besides that, the new latest thing is going to be they're going to regulate dispatching services. The question
Oh, that's it. That's
the
gonna happen.
question has
Period.
been asked: are they as liable, or should they be as liable and
Of
regulated
course they're liable.
as
They're
a
already
broker?
liable.
And I will tell you this, Charity and whoever else is listening: if you are a dispatch service, you guys are already getting sued. It's already happening.
Man, that FMCSA group of the guys have been doing it forever. It's just you haven't got caught yet because there's bigger fish than you.
Yeah.
Dude, you remember the time I told you where we were, me and Corey, and we told that guy to go to the truck stop? We like it was a simple liability issue, and the guy killed those people because he stalled in the middle of the intersection, man.
Yeah.
You know, the first time you get a subpoena from OIDA and their lawyers and a couple other companies at the same time because you're getting sued, it makes your butt cheeks pucker up like crazy. And you're like, that would never happen to me. Well, keep having you do everything on your website for carriers.
IBA is a fucking joke. The only time they get all they are is a insurance company. They sell insurance, and if something comes along,
They sell insurance. Lloyd's of London
comes along, and they see that 30,000 people are in favor, they'll jump out there and go, "Yeah, we're all IDA, and we've been saying this for 5 years. We're the leader.
They're leading in
We're
transparency
going to
right
go
now
to
against
Washington
TIA.
and fight for you." Having OOIDA sign on to your cause, having them join you in your fight, that's like getting Muhammad Ali on your boxing team, and he's been dead for 10 years. You with me? They haven't won a court
We
fight.
just went to hell because we're going to hell because we're bad mouthing OIDA, right?
I don't care. Fuck them. They haven't won a
either.
court case.
They've never done nothing.
They haven't won a court case in 20 years. Nothing. They haven't done anything.
Last thing I think they did that was actually good was that fatigue thing in Minnesota, wasn't it?
Yeah. But when was that?
fuck, I don't know, dude. 13 years ago,
Yeah,
fucking
they
15
haven't
years
done
ago.
anything. They don't do it, but they will take your money and they will sell you some insurance. That's what they'll do.
Oh yeah. Oh no, they got benefits in there. They give you go to their broker trading. Some guy that doesn't do it anymore. Oh, they got all kinds of stuff, man. It's like top notch stuff.
Yeah, charity say for my company used to be for others. Yeah, you better get legit. Get you some insurance and a bond if you're going to do it because they're getting sued now. They are
Hey, my
suing.
phone's gonna die. Love you
Yeah.
to death. I gotta roll.
Huh?
Hi, my phone's dying. Love you to death. Gotta roll. I'll be on next week.
See you next week, guys. We've been on here for over an hour anyway, talking about just stuff me and Shaggy are pissed off about. So we'll come back next week. I'll try to have a. Maybe I can get Michelle to come on here with me and talk for a while. Or maybe Charity and Michelle. We'll talk sometime this week. We'll get together next week. We'll have a talk. We'll get some stuff out there. I'll wear a different hat, whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy. Remember this. Take good care of each other. We're the only ones we got. Nobody else is helping, okay? Nobody else is helping. Take good care of each other. Look out for each other. Don't wait for the government. They're not coming over the hill. They're not coming to help you. They're fundraising and trying to get you pissed off at everybody. That's what they're there for. That's what they do. Divide people, keep them pissed off. That's why I don't get on political shows. That's all those people do, and I don't want any part of it. Honest to God, I don't. It's a fucking waste of my time. Anyway, have a great week. Get out there and do something. If you need some help, post it in the group. Call Shaggy. Do whatever you need to do. We will help you. We will do whatever we can do. Have a great week. Thanks for coming. I love you guys. I mean it.